4-year-old American boy is being held hostage in Rio de Janeiro.
On the streets of Ipanema on a rainy Sunday morning, the small group handed out flyers to anyone who would take them.
They usually scrunch up their faces. They can't believe it's real.
Rachel Glickhouse, a New Yorker living in Brazil, writes a blog about her adventures in Rio. She had never met David, but when she heard about his battle to see his son, she says she was so angry she wanted to help.
The major news sources here have absolutely refused to cover the story. So the only way to get it out to the Brazilians is by physically giving it to them.
Here in the U.S., David's friends are using the web to get his story out, saying the family who is keeping him from his son is being blatantly unfair.
They don't let any inconvenient law stand in the way of how they do things down there.
Dateline wanted to talk to Bruna's husband to find out why he is blocking David's efforts to see Sean and why he wants David's name erased from his own son's birth certificate. But he declined, telling Dateline in this brief email that he can't talk about the case and that I'm, quote, not blocking anything. I am just respecting the decisions of the Brazilian Superior Court. But in other emails, the family has had plenty to say. This one, addressed to Dear Journalists, calls for an investigation into David's real motives, suggesting all he really wants is money.
It's not about money. And for them to suggest that is even sicker.
It's a slanderous charge. It's to say that he's basically sold Sean for money and he's only interested in money.
The allegation stems back to a 2006 settlement David made with Bruna's parents. They admitted no wrongdoing, but in exchange for David dropping them from his civil suit and giving them access to their frozen assets, they paid him $150,000. They're throwing that back in your face and saying, he's not interested in Sean, he just wants cash. Do you regret that you settled? Do you think that muddied it?
Legally, absolutely not. I didn't want to settle in that day of the court, and I was advised by my attorney to do so. It enabled me to pay off some legal bills.
What has it cost you, this search for your son?
Last time we figured it out, it was somewhere around $350,000 or more. I spent every resource that I've had without result.
Help us bring Sean home from Brazil.
Outraged by the whole situation, David's supporters have organized rallies like this one in front of the Brazilian consulate in New York.
They need to follow the law and obey the treaty and bring Sean home.
The State Department's Michelle Bond says the treaty makes it very clear Brazil should have sent Sean back to New Jersey years ago.
Brazil's noncompliance in the Hague Convention is of tremendous concern to us because it encourages the continuation of this kind of abduction. This little boy has now had more than 4 years when he wasn't even allowed to see his father. It's cruel.
Encouraged by sympathetic letters and emails, like this one from then-Senator Barack Obama, David has taken his fight to Washington, meeting with groups like the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children.
For the most part of 4 years, I didn't have enough support, and in the last few months, it seems like there's been a lot more interest.
After 4 years, I would think you'd be pretty beaten down, but you seem determined.
I won't ever quit on my son.
Never.
Never. How can you? How can you give up on your child? It's my legal, my moral, my God-given right to raise my son.
Have you ever considered...
Getting him back, not with the courts?
Right. Kidnapping him.
Would it be kidnapping? He's got a court order from America to have him home.
Has it ever crossed your mind?
It's crossed my mind. Obviously, I didn't act on it. Maybe I should have, but maybe it could have put him in harm's way. I don't want to ever harm my son.
Does it ever cross your mind that you won't see your son again?
I can't think that. No. No. This is so wrong on every level. He's got to come home.
How can any of this be possible?
It's sick. Who can help me? Who can help? I just need help.
The loneliness is piercing. Now, when David canoes on the river behind his Tom Sawyer house, Sean's vacant seat seems to glare at him. Such a painful reminder of a time when life had seemed like a blissful fairy tale. How much do you miss that little boy?
I miss him every second of every day, and in my sleep. The time we had together, was the most special, precious moments. I can never describe the love I have for my son. There are no words